So guys, through this video we will read a beautiful story. Madam rides the bus. Lesson 9. Written by Ballikannan. First, I am introducing you about the author. Ballikannan is the pseudonym of R.S. Krishnaswamy. He was born in Rajavallipuram near Tirunelveli on 12 November 1920 and died on 9 November 2006. He was a Tamil writer, journalist and translator. He was awarded the Sahitya Academy Award for Tamil for his critical work on modern Tamil poetry. Now some vocabulary here. It will help you to read the lesson. Now I am giving you a short summary of this story. This story is a summarized view of the answer to the mystery of life and death through an 8-year-old girl's first bus journey into the world outside her village. Her name was Balli Ammai, in short Balli, and she had no playmates of her own age. She used to watch the passerby on the street outside. Watching the street gave her many new unusual experiences. She was fascinated by the bus, which travelled from her village to the nearest town. She gathered information about the bus journey, bus side, through the conversations between her neighbors and friends who had been to the town by the bus. Riding the bus became her overwhelming desire. She was able to understand now that the trip to the town by the bus took 45 minutes and the fare was 30 paise. She could come back by paying another 30 paise on the same bus if she stayed on the same place. On and on, went her thoughts as she calculated and recalculated, planned and replanned. One day, she somehow managed to get off her house when her mother slept after the afternoon lunch and got into the bus. Everyone in bus was really amazed and surprised to see a little girl along going to the town. Avoiding everyone's eyes, she walked quickly to an empty seat and sat down and paid her fare of 30 paise. Due to her short height, she could not see the scenery outside, so she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. She was able to see acres of green fields, distant mountains, and the blue sky. An elderly man was really concerned for her, asked her to sit down, but she was annoyed by his attention and haughtily replied that there was no child. The conductor was a jolly short person and was constantly making fun of her, due to which Bully became frustrated. Another elderly woman who had such big holes in her ear lobes and such ugly earrings in them. She was absolutely repulsive, so Bully answered curtly. The bus rolled on, now cutting across a bare landscape, now rushing through a teeny village or past an old wayside shop. Suddenly, Valli chapped her hands. She clapped her hands with glee. A young cow, tail high in the air, was running very fast, right in the middle of the road, right in front of the bus. The driver sounded his horn loudly again and again, but the more he honked, the more frightened the animal became, and the faster it gallops, always right in front of the bus. Somehow, this was very funny to Ali. She laughed until there were tears in her eyes. The bus reached the town in some time, but Balli did not get down and asked the conductor for another tickets to her village. The bus started, and again there were the same wonderful sights. Balli greeted everything with the same excitement, but she was second when she saw the cow lying dead on the road. She was overcome with sadness. She came to know the differences before and after death. Soon the bus reached her village, and she discovered her mother talking to one of her aunts about the outer world. Balli smiled at them and replied that she agreed with their conversations. She went into her room, leaving everything puzzled to her aunt and mother. This is the end of the summary of this story.